All right, today we're gonna learn how to paint the Northern Lights. So the question of the day is, why did San Francisco name their team the 49ers? All right, let's run through the colors. Pearly red, Quin red, Indian yellow, red oxide, cad yellow, primary yellow, Quin blue, phthalo blue, phthalo green, titanium white, Mars black. For this layer, we kind of laid in our initial sky in here, a lot of light, a little bit of stars. I probably should have done in the first painting, but I didn't. I've added some of the spray got in here, so I have to kind of brush that away. I don't know if I got all the dots, so we don't want the stars to show up in the mountains. I got like kind of a preliminary path. We'll have to kind of clean this and go back and forth on the path to make it that nice S-curve that we want. We got kind of a preliminary sketch of the mountainside. We're gonna have to use a lot more darks and layering with that really subtle gray to green to gray, slate blue. So we got to get those working and get the shadows here probably working on to make it feel more like this is the fall off point. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes in the next layer. All right, for this layer, we're going to kind of clean up this. We're going to definitely make sure this S-curve works correctly. We might need to go that over a couple times to kind of fill this in between the two. We got the sky going. It's a real intense sky right now. We're going to overlay that with glazes to kind of make those layers more pop. We'll add another whited layer in there to make those kind of contradict, and then we'll see where it goes from there. We added in details to the road to kind of clarify that S-curve. I'm not sure if I'm totally happy with it, but it more or less works. It has that S. We have the highlights on here. We're going to have to brush that down the next layer with color and then add the white back in, probably. I don't know, it might be done now, but we'll see if we touch it again. So the 49ers is named after 1849, when the gold rush kind of struck Alaska, and people all filed out to San Francisco as kind of the last touch point before they would take the trek up to Alaska to go actually hit the gold mines. A lot of famous, it was interesting because the whole town of San Francisco became a town to the largest city in California, which is unusual if you think today with LA being so much larger. But at that time, because of the gold rush, San Francisco became one of the biggest cities. Also, one of the big companies that was formed that same year, more or less, was Levi's. I think they were doing dry goods and they switched into jeans. And so they kind of formed their famous jean company and sold them all to the 49ers and became absolutely filthy rich. And so that was kind of the story of the 49ers, is really the people that got rich were the people that were selling clothes and pitches and knives and all this stuff, that all the gear that they needed, versus the actual 49ers. Probably the majority of them became broke and lost everything trying to, get the easy claim of gold out in the mountains. So history, the lesson of history is sell to the people going to the gold rush, not you going to the gold rush. And that's my question of the day, guys. All right, we just finished the painting. Let's take a closer look. So we have this really nice high intensity Borealis. I just went over with white at the very final stage to kind of really make those pop. We got the road, kind of the S-curve coming through here. You know, got that really dark light that's hitting the mountains. I've done a little bit of reds in the foreground to kind of make that a little bit stand out that it's closer in. I probably could have done a little bit layer, but it's a really difficult reference photo I'm using with these kind of, all this is in shadow as far as the mountains. There's only lit by the starlight, so it's going to be very, very dark. But I want to make it too dark, so I kind of lightened it up a little bit artificially just to make it kind of balance out a little bit with the top. Obviously you have the road, which is very light to kind of give it that balance as well, and breaks up that lower pattern. I really like this. Maybe I should have started the painting out a little bit lower, like have the mountains down at the 1/3 line versus I'm at the 2/3 line. But you know, because the Borealis is so intense, you almost need kind of a calming, neutral, you know, mountains to kind of contrast that too really intense sky there. So hopefully you guys like it. Give me a thumbs up if you do. And if you want to subscribe, you can subscribe below. And check out my Patreon account for the full version. And I'll see you on the next painting video, guys.